I'm Ashley Fetko.
And I'm Cayce Lynch.
We're millennials,
We're lawyers.
we're moms,
We're Swifties.
and we're best friends.
We are deep in the thick of paid working motherhood.
It's real, it's funny, and sometimes it's real funny.
But also, it's no joke.
It's the normal mess.
The normal mess.
The normal mess.
Nailed it. Love summertime.
Me too.
4th of July is my favorite holiday.
Okay, I heard you say this. You said this yesterday in a work
Yes,
meeting. And I was like,
yes.
and it was funny because you said it like at the end of the meeting and then you logged off. And I was like, that was a bomb. I did not know that was
And then I was going to ask you what your favorite holiday was because I'm guessing it's Christmas.
It is Christmas, but Halloween is a very close second. They might be the same. Like they might be, they're neck and neck. But I was shocked. I had no idea that the 4th of July was your favorite.
It has always been my favorite holiday, mostly because of the food. Like I love barbecue food. I love grilling
you like
out.
a hot dog.
I like a brat. I really love a brat and like the southern baked beans, my grandmother's recipe, and like a potato salad and corn on the cob. And I just love that. That's how it started. I've always just loved 4th of July. I freaking love fireworks. Then as it became an adult, I'm realizing now as a mom, you don't have to do much on 4th of July.
Yeah, it's a very low maintenance holiday. It's
true.
It's
always been my favorite holiday, but now even more as an adult, it's just pure fun. Like what would be fun to do for everybody and you don't have to do a ton to prep for it. And now it's the 250th anniversary of America.
Yeah.
And I'm just really into it. So I love summertime and happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah. Happy 4th. I love summertime as well. I love summertime in Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't love summertime in many other places because I have a limited range of temperature.
We've discussed this.
Right. I'm just like my high maintenance dog that has like a limited range of temperature where she is comfortable. I don't like overheat and like pass out on the sidewalk with my tongue out of my mouth. I'm not that level.
Okay.
But the humidity kills me. But then I was in Arizona a couple weeks ago and it was 112 degrees. And I was like, false. Humans are not supposed to exist in this weather. Like, what is this? So I think like in Arizona is too dry. So like I need
There
Colorado
are two places on the
sweet spot.
planet you're comfortable being in the summertime, Colorado and San Diego. You would love it here in the summertime.
Yeah. I also like Italy in the summertime. And Italy is like sweating your face off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Italy, so like it can do whatever it wants.
But you're balancing the sweat with your pasta intake and your
your
Aperol spritz, and you're fine.
Right, you're walking around with a spritz. There's nothing that can happen to you that's bad if you've got a spritz in your hand. So,
oh my gosh. Roadmap today, we're going to talk about Taylor Swift to start us off. And this is a big moment because we say in our intro we are Swifties, yet Taylor just makes little glimmer of appearances. We're going to spend our first segment on her. It's necessary. Yes. Then tofu of the episode today. So excited for this one. I'm excited for all of them, but especially today. Our topic is awe and wonder. And it's
wonderful.
So perfect for summertime. And then at the end, we're going to wrap up today's episode where Ashley and I get to either use the other as a mirror or to request a permission slip for something we need or want.
Exactly.
So good.
We're going to be mirroring to you all what you can and should be doing with your own personal board of directors. When we say, like, get a permission slip, get a mirror, okay, like, let's be that for each other.
Love it.
Cool. Yeah.
Love it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, royal wedding weekend in the United States.
Okay.
What are we wearing right now?
Okay, this is what we have to do. So proudly display that it's a blue and orange t-shirt that says Stevie Nicks, but importantly, KNICKS.
Which is the shirt Taylor wore at Game 5 of the Knicks NBA Finals game as she sat front row and had the time of her life. And
Yes.
Shout out to our amazing friend Jenny, who handmade these
Thank
and
you
sent
so
these
much.
to us.
I got it in my mail yesterday, and it's been a kind of a crazy day, month at work, and I like opened it and I like felt like I might cry because it was just talk about something that induces joy.
I know.
It's that shoulder shimmy that you're doing, Cayce, and it's this shirt. Thank you, Jenny.
I know. Thank you, Jenny. So
good.
It's so good. So we're representing our Tay-Tay today to talk to you about all things wedding. And this is just wild speculation on my part, but
I have thoughts. Okay, so
tell me everything.
All right, so let's catch
What are your
everyone up.
thoughts?
All
Okay.
right, in case our listeners are not like deep in the fandom as we are.
Okay.
So historically, the 4th of July has been a very important holiday for Taylor Swift as well, where she typically has a big party at her Rhode Island mansion, and she has all of her girlfriends. And there was like a famous post of her and her girlfriends that says like something like "Happy Independence Day from your favorite independent girls" or something like that, independent girlies. And then she ends it by saying, "See you soon, Kansas City," because it was like when she was, I think, on tour, or she must have been on tour. And this was years and years before she met Travis Kelce, who very obviously and famously plays and played for Kansas City and lives there. So this is like kismet in all of the ways, important holiday for her. And then there's all these like lyrical references as well to the 4th of July. And it's just as clearly, it's important to Cayce, it's important to Taylor. So, all right, so that's the backstory there. Then there was all the speculation once they got engaged about when they would get married. And Swifties were like, it would be very Taylor coded to get to do it over the 4th of July because of this lore that surrounds the 4th of July for her. Then there was a permit that was taken out at Madison Square Garden for an event, and Mamdani, I think in some way like low-key confirmed that that's what it was for, right? Did you follow this whole thing?
I did not follow that, but I have been following now all the trucks, because we're recording this in the week leading up to 4th of July weekend. So the latest I saw this morning is that trucks are moving into Madison Square Garden with their names, their phone numbers, logos, everything masked off, so you don't know what's going in there. Not even the workers know what's being delivered to where they're delivering it and for whom.
Right. Okay. So the speculation is that Taylor and Travis are getting married this weekend, the 4th of July, at Madison Square Garden. Okay, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, what do you think about this speculation?
Okay. I do not buy it.
Me either. Thank goodness.
Okay. There is, first of all, what is the lyric where, oh my God, I just got chills. The lucky one is the lyrics. And it says, they say you bought a bunch of land somewhere, chose the Rose Garden over Madison Square. Okay, there is no way in hell that this woman is getting married at Madison Square Garden. That is way too much of a spectacle for, like, everyone thinks that she's just like a spectacle in and of herself, and she is. But she also, like, this is an important personal thing for them.
Yeah,
and
think of all of our weddings.
Yeah, I think that she's also already married. I think that they already got married.
I think that it's highly likely that they're already married as well.
Yeah. And I think that she'll do some kind of a party to celebrate it, and then she'll do an announcement sometime after the fact that she's married. But I can't remember what it was for, but there was some clip that I think was on something New Heights did of her feeding him Indian food, and like the camera's propped up. Did you see this whole thing?
You sent it to me.
I sent it to you. Of course I did. Of course.
And you can see her flash a little
ring, and you see it's not just. I mean, you can see in my, right now, it's not the way that her hand comes in front of the camera. It's not just the engagement ring. You can see a band there too. And I'm like, oh, she's telling us she's already married. So I think it's a ruse. I think that it's a distraction. I think that they would go to all of these lengths to distract from where it actually is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
I completely agree. We have not previously discussed this, but I mean, they may have gotten married out of courthouse. They might have done something super small and intimate with just personal family. And now maybe they are going to do something a little bigger and have another ceremony and celebrate it as a wedding, that they want to have and deserve to have. But it's not at Madison Square Garden, people.
Thank you. Okay. Well, messy besties have spoken. So
there
it's
we
not
go.
happening there.
Yeah.
Done.
I mean, you can disagree with us and we can certainly be proven wrong, but I'm coming in with all confidence.
And I would delight in being proven wrong because this is truly the royal wedding for us. That remember when Kate and what's his face got married? This is how important the royals are to me. I care about Kate. I don't care about what's
Prince
his face.
William.
Okay, Prince William. When Kate and William got married, you had to stay up late to watch it.
Yes.
And it was a whole. I did stay up late with my girlfriends.
Did too.
We had a tea party.
Mm-hmm.
I made raspberry champagne cupcakes and we toasted them, and it was very fun. I would do that.
I did that 20. For Harry and Meghan too. I watched it.
Did you?
And watched it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah.
So this is I would do that. I would do that for Taylor. So I will happily be proven wrong, but I just don't buy it.
I don't buy it either.
Yeah, it's wild. We got that out of our systems.
We really did. And there's a lot of wonder associated with this big royal wedding. Did you put awe and wonder on our list or did I? Do you remember?
I honestly don't remember. We were mind-mouthing.
We were. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I don't know whose brain that came out of, mine or yours. And it's sometimes I just lose track too. I'm like, I
know.
Did she say that? Did I say that? I don't know.
Why does this topic resonate with you?
Because, oh my gosh, for so many reasons. Because I think wonder and awe come naturally to children. And as we mature, we lose our ability to find it and to see it as easily. And it kind of gets trained or beaten out of us over the course of our time living as adults and taking on more responsibilities. But I think that wonder and awe are the keys to so many other really valuable traits and skills and characteristics and experiences. And we don't talk about them enough. When's the last time? And now that we've said it, there will be an article about it because that's how it happens. Wall Street Journal, where's your article on wonder and awe, baby? Nobody's writing. Nobody's really talking about this to the extent that I think we should be because it is so, so, so important. Why did you possibly put it on the list if it was you?
It resonates with me because I first really started thinking about this because of Brené Brown. Everyone knows we're Swifties, we're Polaroids, and I'm whatever people call Brené Brown's fans. We
Brownie.
Put that brownies. I want to be a brownie. Okay, so here's the deal. In 2021, so I had my first child in February 2021. Later in 2021, Brené Brown published her book called Atlas of the Heart. And in this book, she talks about awe and wonder. Can I give you a little overview of what Atlas of the Heart is and then what she says about awe and wonder? Because this has stuck. I don't remember a lot about reading this book because that's how my brain works. I remember awe and wonder. It just stuck with me. So Atlas of the Heart, she shares that she did this study. She conducted this study over the course of 5 years. They collected data from more than 7,000 people. Talk about a data set, okay? And what they asked people to do were to list all of the emotions that they could recognize and name as they were experiencing them. So you're going through your daily life, you experience an emotion, identify it, name it, write it down, essentially.
Interesting.
Okay. How many emotions, what was the average number of emotions that you think participants listed?
In a given day or over the course of the entire study?
Over the course of the entire study.
Man, I don't know, 20, 25?
3.
I was going to say, am I wildly overestimating people's ability to identify emotions? Okay.
Yeah. 3. What are the 3 you'd guess?
Happy, sad, angry.
Yes. Happy, sad, and mad. Yeah. Happy, sad, and angry. Okay. And her philosophy is that the more we are able to identify and put language to emotions that we're feeling, the greater emotional regulation and psychological well-being we will have. That was an awful sentence.
No,
the more we will be able to psychologically regulate and experience psychological well-being.
This makes total sense to me. This is why in our family we say name it to tame it. It's exactly what that is. If you can name it, then you can tame it and you can exercise control and regulation over it. Yeah.
I love this phrase, and I think you're going to love it too. Our ability to accurately recognize and label emotions is often referred to as emotional granularity.
I just got chills. I do love that phrase.
I knew you would.
Love that phrase.
I knew you would.
That's got me written all over it. Man, so I love that. I'm going to read this book now. I haven't read it.
I highly recommend Everything by Brené Brown, but that's what Atlas of the Heart is. She's literally going through different emotions that humans can feel and experience and defining them and giving an example so you can put yourself in that scenario and say like, oh yeah, I know what that would feel like. And I thought about different words. It's such a particular way and emotions in such a specific particular way that I'd never thought about them before. And so I first got the audiobook, I listened to it, and then I'm like, I gotta get the book. And the book is beautiful, the way they've published it and all the pictures and stuff they use in it. But the thing that's really, really stood out for me that we're talking about today is awe and wonder. So she's coming at defining what these things are from this perspective of we need to be specific so we know what we're talking about, okay?
Okay.
I'm first going to read a quote by Rachel Carson, The Sense of Wonder, that Brené quotes in Atlas of the Heart. If I had influence with the good fairy who is supposed to preside over the christening of all children, I should ask that her gift to each child in the world be a sense of wonder so indestructible that it would last throughout life, as an unfailing antidote against the boredom and disenchantments of later years, the sterile preoccupation with things that are artificial, the alienation from the sources of our strength.
I want that tattooed on my body. That is so good. That
Isn't
is
it?
like, my God. Will you send that to me when we hang up?
Absolutely.
That is so. I'm not actually going to get a tattoo of that. My husband's like, stop with the tattoos.
That is Rachel Carson. Yeah,
Rachel Carson. That is
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Okay. Brené goes to explain that both awe and wonder are often experienced in response to nature, art, music, spiritual experiences, or ideas. And we can feel overwhelmed by the vastness of something that is almost incomprehensible. It almost feels like what we're witnessing can't actually be true. Like we're seeing something that doesn't fit with how we move through and understand our everyday lives. So it pulls us out of our everyday lives and it doesn't feel like reality. And here's the big difference between these two terms, because they're often used in conjunction with each other as we've paired them today for the podcast episode. Okay. Quoting researchers Ulrich Wagner and Johannes Wegman, they write, "Wonder inspires the wish to understand. Awe inspires the wish to let shine, to acknowledge and to unite. When feeling awe, we tend to simply stand back and observe, to provide a stage for the phenomenon to shine. On the other hand, and in complement to it, wonder fuels our passion for exploration and learning, for curiosity and adventure." And there's this beautiful cartoon in the book that I'm just going to describe to you, so now everyone has to go buy it and looking up. But an artist came forward and drew two different cartoons next to each other. One is a girl staring up at the sky, at the universe, and she's just sitting in it and like basking in the stars, right? And just the awe of giving it the stage to shine. That's awe, right? Next to it is wonder. And she's back in her room underneath the stars, like in a book, trying to learn every single thing there is because it sparks questions, this desire to learn more and understand more and comprehend that's so grand that it doesn't even seem like it could be real. And I feel like we can have those two things at the same moment, or we could experience very different things, like the awe
Yes.
or the wonder at just the vastness and the greatness of something that's so incredible and amazing, it doesn't feel like real life.
Okay. This is so good. And I just need to tell our listeners, because sometimes I feel like it might come off as though you and I know what each other is going to say or compare notes in advance, because we're so in sync so often with like what I'm bringing to the table and what you've brought. I really need everybody to understand, like very fully in the truest sense, that this show is completely unscripted. Like we know, I think that's probably obvious by our ums and likes and, all of that. But truly, I don't know when we're like, ooh, I want to talk about awe and wonder. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. There was no exchange of notes beforehand. Okay. This is
Correct.
important for me to say because from my personal experience and the way that I've thought about awe and wonder, as well as the Googling. Yes, I'm back together with Google because Melissa shared with us that there is a way that I can like turn off that and just ignore the AI. So I'm ignoring the AI. I'm back together with Google.
I love you, Mel. Thank you for salvaging Ashley's lifelong relationship with Google. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm working on it. We're working on it. So anyway, I Googled, and the neuroscience and psychological benefits, terms, experiences are fully borne out by what you just read and by each of our perceptions and experiences with these two things. Okay.
Our mind mouthing. Yes.
We're mind mouthing. Okay. So I want to talk about when you brought this out, because we have that shared note of like, these are things we want to talk about. And you said, I think this should be our next episode. I was like, oh yeah, because it's been a minute since I thought about these concepts. And so I just kind of sat with it a little bit. And I was thinking about how interesting it is that wonder is both a noun and a verb. Okay, the grammar nerd in me. The 7 wonders of the world are nouns. They are objects, places, people, things that you can go see. But to wonder about something invokes that curiosity and that question asking thing. And so I kind of sat with that a little bit because I thought it's just a really interesting way to think about it. And it's basic. Like, of course, it's a noun and a verb. But when you think about functionally what that means, it means that wondering is not a passive experience. Wonders exist in the world. But to some extent, especially as adults, we kind of have to seek them out. And to wonder about something is an active participatory experience where we think about things, we become curious, we invite creativity, and we acknowledge our smallness in the world, right? And that, again, like that definition that you just read about awe versus wonder is so good, but looking even just at wonder, the differences, that exist between its various forms. So there's that. Something else that you were talking about is the recognition or the experience of something else being so big, so astronomically large and overwhelming that you struggle to comprehend how it can be real and what its relationship is to you. Okay, so that in psychology is referred to as small self.
Wow.
Okay. So small self is a state where we experience something so much bigger than ourselves that we acknowledge how tiny and how small our experience and our being is in relation to the grand scheme of everything else that we're experiencing. And there's tremendous benefit to small self because it allows us to contextualize and prioritize our stresses, our anxieties, our worries within the bigger context of the world universe that we're existing in, right? And so when we talk about what wonder and awe does, that's a psychological phenomenon that's been studied, and it has been studied directly as coming from wonder and awe. And then there's, neuroscience that goes into how, like, what systems are activated to produce that. But that's what that is small self.
Oh my gosh, I'm just sitting in that. And I'm trying to put myself in one of these moments where I have felt small. And in those moments that are coming to my mind right now, like we've mentioned the Grand Canyon, right? And how you went there. And is that a moment Am I putting words in your mouth that that's a moment of small
That's
self that you
exactly-
experience? Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly where my brain went, was just
Okay.
that. That is the most clearly articulable one, but I have so many more examples
Yes,
of that.
and we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But let's just take this one example. When I have had those moments, another feeling that I get, talk about emotional granularity, is this sense of peace. It's as if that small self moment brings this perspective of me being the tiny ant in this universe.
Yeah.
And that's really comforting to me. And here's some wondering. Is that comforting? Does that feeling of small self provide comfort to you? What do you feel associated with that?
Yes, absolutely. And that's kind of, when I say that in psychology, it's been studied as the realization of how small our daily worries and anxieties are in comparison to this thing that we're witnessing, that we're awestruck by, that we're observing the wonder of. That's exactly what that is it's like the combination of perspective taking and peace that comes from seeing. It's part and parcel to, what my mom always says, which is this too shall pass, where it's like this tiny moment of whatever it is, of this tiny moment of stress, anxiety, worry, whatever, is so minuscule and fleeting in comparison to the whole of your life. But zoom out even further and go to the Grand Canyon and see the magnitude of the world and beauty in which we're living. And it's like, oh, that tiny, that thing that felt overwhelming and crushing with anxiety, doubt, guilt, whatever, is like, it's a feather that just floats away because it's not in comparison to everything else that's there. And that is a tremendous source of comfort and peace.
Yes. There's a psalm that I love so much that brings a lot of comfort on this issue, and I'll read it. But what this verse means to me is that even in the vast span of the universe that God created, he knows me and he cares for me. And I'm not lost, even though I'm small, So it's Psalm 8, 3-4. And it says, when I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them, human beings that you care for them? And even though we are so small, and these things actually matter nothing in the grand scheme of the universe that I let weigh me down, God knows me and has set me apart and cares for me. And it's all going to be okay.
And I feel that too. I knew which psalm once you started giving your interpretation. I was like, okay, I know this one. I feel that too, but it's also within nature, there's also just this feeling that I fit into this puzzle. Like I'm a tiny little ant blip in this.
And we're connected to it.
Is. Right. What a gift that is, that I am here to witness this. I'm connected to this and I'm part of this. So it's not that, for me, small self is not that like, oh, well, I'm tiny and I don't matter. So it's not like it's the opposite of that. It's like I can be at peace knowing that compared to all of this, my worries are so small and I'm a part of all of this. And how lucky. So there's like, when I was thinking about, now that I know the term emotional granularity, when I was thinking about awe and wonder, and I always think about emotions as trees, like, because they are also interconnected to me.
You're going to love this book so much because she breaks them down by category and groupings.
Yeah, branches. Yes. So awe and wonder both feed different emotional experiences for me. And two of the biggest ones, well, let me say three of the biggest ones, are curiosity, creativity, and gratitude. And so, and that small self thing feeds all of them.
Brené categorizes awe and wonder under places we go when it's beyond us. And the emotions are awe, wonder, confusion, curiosity, interest, and surprise.
How have I not read this book?
I know you're going to freaking love it. Just go get it.
I am going to love it. Okay. All right, this is so cool. So can I share some of the neuroscience
Please.
and health benefits?
100%.
All right.
I'm on bated breath.
Okay. So first of all, there are a series of things that happen in our brains and bodies when we experience wonder and awe that we're not really controlling. It's not like we control whether we're seeking wonder out, and we control our relationship to wonder and awe, and we're going to talk about that. But there are different physiological and cognitive responses that happen within our bodies in response to wonder and awe that just happen. That's just how we were programmed. And then stemming from that are benefits that are associated with it. All right.
Okay.
So this is, I'm going to reference, I have a couple of articles to reference, but this first one I want to reference is by Dr. Paul Wright, who is the Senior Vice President and System Chair of the Neuroscience Institute at Nuvance Health. Thank you, Dr. Wright. This is an article from August of 2024 titled The Neuroscience and Health Benefits of Experiencing Awe and Wonder. So cool.
Lay it on
right?
us.
All right. So there are several different things that happen in our bodies. I want to talk first about the brain. This is what Dr. Wright writes. When we experience awe and wonder, several key areas in the brain light up. The prefrontal cortex, which controls executive function, becomes highly active. And then he explains what executive function does. It controls our ability to plan, focus, and make decisions, among other important processes. It also helps us process the significance of what we are witnessing and integrate it into our greater understanding of the world.
Small self.
Small self right there. Experiencing an awesome moment also triggers the anterior cingulate cortex, ACC, which plays a role in emotional regulation and cognitive function. During moments of awe, the ACC helps modulate our emotional response, fostering that sense of calm and wonder. All right. And this is, so then I read, there are several other articles. I'm not going to go through all of them. One by Dr. Mahbub Ali Nazarani from EverHealth, that's titled The Science of Awe, How Wonder Reduces Stress and Supports Mental Health, goes through some of its benefits. And The Effect of Awe on Mood and Health by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi talks about how awe impacts our mental health. And then I have one more that is from Blue Moon Senior Counseling titled What is Wonder and How It Helps Your Brain and Mood. And across all of these articles and others that I've found, they are consistent in that experiencing awe and wonder changes our brain chemistry. I'm going to say that one more time because I think it is the coolest thing. Experiencing awe and wonder changes our brain chemistry.
Meaning that our brain is releasing different chemicals when we experience it? Wow.
Correct. Okay. And so these neural pathways that are formed, and cause all of these other areas of our brains to light up, and there's more than what I read, that feeling is emphasized and reinforced by dopamine that is released.
So
really
cool.
Isn't that the coolest thing? So our brains and our bodies are actively responding in these ways, lowering cortisol, lower levels of cortisol, improving cardiovascular health. And we can start talking about benefits here in a second. But these are active responses that are happening in our brains and bodies in response to experiencing awe and wonder.
And that's another reason why it's got to feel so good. And
yeah, exactly.
The other thing is I remember these moments. Like when you think back, is it hard for you to remember moments of awe and wonder? Because it's so easy for me to recall them.
Yes, same.
I don't forget them. Yeah.
Yep. Same. And that's probably because all of these areas that light up in our brains are also the same ones that assist with memory and connection forming. So they're probably, I don't know that. I didn't read that. But that would make sense to me that we're
they leave an
experiencing
impression
that,
somehow.
Yeah, they leave. Yeah. And then that positive feeling is reinforced by the dopamine that we get from experiencing those moments.
Totally.
Right?
Totally. Wow.
And there are also, so when we talk about benefits of awe and wonder. There have been multiple studies done, which I think is so cool. And it's like only over the past 10 years that this has become an area of focused interest in neuroscience and psychology. But there have been studies done that show that adults who regularly experience awe and wonder report lower stress, lower fatigue, lower cortisol levels, higher rates of satisfaction. They have higher rates of happiness in their personal relationships. And so there's all of these like emotional things, but then there's also documented cardiovascular benefits that come from this and cognitive protective factors to protect against long-term effects of aging and memory loss from seeking out and experiencing wonder and awe.
Wow. Okay,
right?
so how do you experience it? How do you, is there a pattern for you in your life?
For me personally,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll talk about what the research says is like the best, because there are best practices for getting your hit of awe and wonder.
Wow.
There are best practices.
All right.
So for me, my kids have been a tremendous source of awe and wonder for me. And I think that probably part of that is that they are so still programmed for that's because everything is new. Like I think I've mentioned this before, where it's like, you have to remember that kids are operating without context. And it was like a meme of like a 3-year-old went to sleep in one state, they were moving states and they were like driving across the country, and he woke up in another state that he had never seen. And he looked at his mom and he was like, are we still on Earth? Where it's like this, because there's the lack in context. So everything is new. Everything is awesome. Everything is wonder inspiring. So I think that my kids have been a source of that, because when you're on a walk with them in the neighborhood, you have to slow down because they're going slow. They're looking at the bug. Oh, look, there's a dog over there. They're paying attention here. They're wanting to, look at this leaf and get down and dig in that dirt or whatever. So you have to slow down, and that forces your gaze to look at the things that they are looking at. And they are usually, I'm like, holy crap, look at that caterpillar go. Oh my God, this is like, look at him popping off of the leaf. He's got such a cute little face. I had no idea. And, and so like the kids have been a massive catalyst for me to seek wonder. But I also have a very strong relationship to music, as we've talked about. And so music is a big source of awe and wonder for me. Music can make me weep and have like full religious experiences. And I think that is awe and wonder. What about you?
I agree. My kids, for sure. In addition to the experiencing things through their eyes and watching them do that, I think that's kind of what you were describing. Also just them. Like, you were one cell in my body.
Right.
And now look at you. Like I grew you. I kept you alive with just my body for 6 months. And then you started eating
then to
food.
see them, right. And to see them, our kids are both at the stage right now where they're like fully turning into themselves.
Yes.
And they come up with things on their own, and they have their own belief system and their own things that that are completely, so obviously we influence that, but to see them, that has been a crazy source of wonder for me, to see them just like blossoming into this.
Like, and those moments that I just want to bottle up. And I've mentioned this before, my 3-year-old still pronounces her older sister's name with a lisp. And it's like, that's going to go away. I just want to bottle that up. That's awe to me. I'm just reveling in how special this is. And I don't really feel the vastness of it, but I'm still in awe of it. I don't think I have the complete relationship with music that you do, but I see that in you for sure. Nature is really big for me.
Same.
The night sky, sunsets, the ocean, mountain
I was going to say
landscapes.
the ocean is probably huge for you.
It's huge for me. Yeah. Yeah. And there's something to me, and I'm really curious if this is in your blueprint for how to experience it, because there is something so much about slowing down that you mentioned to me. And very often I'm slowing down most when I'm on a family trip or we're on a vacation. Like,
Yeah.
We're separated. I'm separated from the day-to-day, kind of what that quote was earlier, like the mundane of life. I'm separated from that, and I'm in a new environment, and my senses are heightened, or I'm just out of my comfort zone, and I'm maybe going slower and noticing more. But there's something also really powerful in being able to be present in that present moment and mindful in the everyday and experience it to some extent. There's huge value in both, whether I'm out traveling on vacation or just in our backyard.
Yeah, same. So when I said to you that I wanted us each to share a recent example of wonder, I'm going to share mine here because
Okay.
it is so like it dovetails so nicely into exactly what we're talking about.
Okay. Is it awe or wonder that you're going to say? Are you in awe of something, or are you wondering more and you want to dive in and learn more about it?
I don't know. I feel like if there was a Venn diagram, it's a little bit of both.
Okay. I like this. Go ahead.
Because I don't know that it's not something that I'm like, ooh, I want to Google that. Like, it's not that. It's just like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing. I want to live in this moment. I want to bottle this up.
Bottle it up. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
And it is my kids' language.
Love.
So,
Love.
and it's
Explain
not
it.
like it's, okay. So my daughter, as we've talked about, is older than my son. Both of my children are highly verbal. They are very expressive, verbal kiddos. And so this has always been a thing. My husband and I are both verbal as well. So like there's no shock there. Not a surprise, but both of my kids are highly verbal. So it's not, I have different examples for both of them. So my daughter, Lil Spice, she's very spicy and has big feelings. And we had like a little bit of a struggle day where it was just like big feelings and and I'm trying to help her navigate those feelings and name them and tame them and all of these things. And I recognize that can sometimes feel like correction to her. And I'm trying really hard to not have that feel like correction or judgment. But I also need to make sure that she has some guardrails in place so that she is like a happy, healthy person outside of our happy little nest. You know what I'm saying? So it was at the end of one of these kind of tough days. And she said, it was at bedtime. And she said, and I could tell that she was just kind of sad or feeling some things. And I said, Sweet Pea, what's up? And she said, it feels like everyone I love is loose from my heart. And it was that like feeling of disconnect or, like some, and I was like, and I write poetry and I have a soft spot for poetry. And in my head, I was like, loose from my heart. Like, I know exactly what, you or I might have said, like, today was a hard day. I feel like we're not really connected, or I feel like we had a hard time communicating. But like that loose from your heart feeling, don't you know exactly what that is?
I know exactly what that means.
You can feel that in your gut. And like with her, she's hyperverbal, but she's also still 5. So with the tools and the description that she could offer, that is what she offered. And I was like, oh my God, first of all, like I could never be loose from your heart. I live in your heart. You live in my heart. There's no, like I had that reaction, but it also was like, holy smokes, what a beautiful, wonderful, you know what I mean? Expression of what she's feeling. So that was the example for Lil Spice. The example for my son is different. He is doing this thing where he's almost like a little Shakespeare, where he's like coming up with words. Most of Shakespeare's, not most, but many of Shakespeare's words like did not exist at the time, and now they're common parlance. This is what he does. So my daughter like came up to him and was like, I think kind of like jostling him and tickling him. And he did not like it. And he said, Mama, she is scrumbling me. Oh! She just scrumbled me. And I was like, oh my God, what is a scrumble? Like,
bottle it up.
Just like, isn't that the best?
Just the best.
So it's their language right now. And it's not exactly the way that it's not, the pronunciation of a word. It's like the way that they're choosing to express themselves, and their relationship to language is like knocking me off my feet. And that I feel like is wonder, but it might also be awe. It's both.
It's both, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to wonder about Because you can see where they've landed to come up with that word. I don't know if I can't even use language to explain this, but there's awe and wonder at what pathway their brains and their hearts took to get to that final result.
Yeah.
It's just
yes, exactly.
Wow, that's how the brain's working. Like, you're so smart. That is so articulate. Like,
and that is fully their own expression.
Yes. Yes.
That could never have come from me or Ash or a book that we've read. Like, those were their, those are fully their
original,
own expressions.
That's an OG. That is original to them.
That's OG. Yeah. ChatGPT could never.
Never.
Okay, should we talk about how to, like, what the blueprint is?
Yeah, what's the blueprint?
To get some more awe and wonder? So consistently across all of these studies, there are the same types of things that generate awe and wonder. We've identified them. Nature, art, music. That's kind of the biggest ones. So obviously, like, go find those things. Go touch grass. Okay, like go embrace these things. But this is what is really, really cool. There are some best practices to actually get these cognitive, psychological, physical well-being effects. Okay. Informal open attention practices outperform structured meditation techniques, and wilder natural settings produce better results than manicured parks. Okay. So the key is shifting attention outward. And I'm quoting the article from EverHealth. So rather than walking, so go outside, but rather than walking while reviewing your to-do list, pause to actively notice the vastness, the sky, a wide view. So these are like some things that you can look for to specifically trigger these experiences in your brain. Vastness, the sky or a wide view. Beauty, look for light, color, patterns, and detail, the architecture of a leaf, the movement of water. Even a tree-lined neighborhood street works.
Stop and smell the roses.
Literally, but actually get in there. And it's like open attention practices, external facing, are more impactful at driving this than internal facing. So the key is like, look outward. Meditation is great. Right. Meditation is great for other things. And this is not me saying, like, don't meditate. Look at the leaf, release the leaf into the river. Okay, to have a throwback. Fully do that. But to produce, like, the biggest impacts and benefits from awe and wonder, got to be outward facing. And then it says also, there's a couple other tools I want to share. Self-selected music is a highly accessible awe trigger. So try creating a short playlist of pieces that reliably move you, songs that produce chills, goosebumps, or unexpected emotion. This is so cool. Research with surgical patients found that self-selected music significantly reduced pain, anxiety, blood pressure, and heart rate. The key is listening with full attention, not as background noise. Cool, right?
So cool.
And then there's one more thing, which is, and multiple articles confirmed this, what they're calling awe narratives. So mentally re-experience past moments of awe. So you can sit down and actively, and one of the articles recommended this, sit down and write out, journal about, like, pick 3 moments of awe, the Grand Canyon, the birth of your child, whatever, and write out, like, fully for yourself. You're not sending it anywhere. Write out your full experience of that moment and revisit it so that you can train your brain to actively seek those moments in other settings.
That's so cool. With all the spare time we have, we can just journal that.
Just journal about your awe moments, guys. It's not that hard. Just eat a lot of protein, get 12 hours of sleep, make sure your kids are fed, and then journal the shit out of it.
Have over 100 ounces of water a day.
Yes, exactly.
And journal about your awe.
With my Stanley. Yeah, exactly. It's not hard.
What, like it's hard?
Nice Legally Blonde reference.
Oh, that is so cool. I love it so much. Should we go to permission slips or mirrors?
Okay, so to reorient our listeners.
Yes.
The idea behind mirrors and permission slips is a mirror. You can ask your friend or as I like to call them, your personal board of directors, to be a mirror for you when you're having trouble seeing yourself or a situation that you're involved in clearly, and you need someone who knows you really well, who you trust, to give you what is actually happening in a clear,
to reflect
loving,
back for you. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
In a clear and loving way that you know is a safe space that you can do that. That's a mirror. A permission slip is where the way that I always think of it in our friendship is something is causing me stress or strife, and I know it's kind of like I know what needs to happen, but I need an external voice that's like outside of the noise of my brain to come and be like, honey, let that go. Okay, like let it go.
Yes.
Is that fair?
That's totally fair. And you said what I was going to say, where it's like, in your gut or in your heart what the right thing is, but you need someone else to give you the push. Like it's something that's hard. It's right, but it's hard. And you're like, whether it's something you need to do or something you need to let go of and you're struggling with it, someone else can give you that little permission slip. Like, you are free to go do this. Ready, go.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I'm going to go first, and I need a permission slip.
Okay. Ready.
Okay.
Please don't make it about bangs.
I need to go get blunt bangs. And I need you to sign off on this life choice right now on this binding recording so I can go do it.
Permission slip denied.
Damn it. I'm doing it anyway. No, I'm just kidding. It's not about bangs, people. It's not about bangs. I'm good with my swoop. I'm keeping the swoop. Okay, so we are in summertime, as we have talked about, and Lil Spice is entering kindergarten in the fall. And she is wildly smart, hyperverbal, as we have covered. I feel a tremendous amount of guilt and anxiety for not, spending multiple hours a day with her working on her kindergarten readiness and reading skills and all of the things. I don't think that she is behind. I think she's advanced from where but how do you know that? I don't know. How do I know that? I don't know that. And I'm like, is that just because I think she's amazing? I'm blindsided because I'm like, she's the coolest. I love her. Maybe, but I'm like, I don't know how I can give any more or do any more in my life as a professional, as a friend, as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister. I am at max capacity in every area that I can possibly think of, which is growth for me to acknowledge that, because I've always been someone to be like, I can do more. And it's just endlessly, I can do more. I can't do more. I'm maxed out, but I feel so much anxiety and guilt, and I am also feeling like this is her last summer before she becomes a big kid. And so it's this tension of I want to enjoy every single second, and I want her to enjoy every single second of this summer. And we've done some really cool projects and trips, and we've got another one planned. And we're doing all of these things to fill her cup as much as possible before she goes into this next huge chapter of her life. And accompanying that is so much guilt and anxiety and grief a little bit that I'm losing this tiny kid version of her, and I'm maybe not doing enough to prepare her for that next chapter and to cherish the chapter that we're in. And I just don't know what else I could be doing differently. And I don't know. I feel like I need to somehow let that go and acknowledge that it's fine. She's fine. I'm human. She's human. It's all going to work out. But I need to actively voice that pressure is crushing me right now. And that guilt and anxiety is crushing.
Ashley, this is your official permission slip to let that shit go. Okay. And I have to validate you. So our kids were in a Montessori program. I don't know if I've talked about this on the pod. Their school closed, and now they're going to a new Montessori program in the fall. But right now they're at summer camp at the new Montessori school. And they came home after their first week, and I was like, what'd you do today? And they told me all these things they did. Play. And I was like, did you work on your reading? And they're like, no. I'm like, did you work on your numbers?
Right. No, we just played in mud.
Yeah. And Okay, there is some kind of external pressure going on that I have internalized too, that they need to be learning and achieving and growing academically all the time. That is
All
not
the time.
all the time. That is not real. That's not a real thing. What I've seen in my kids' personalities with them being able to take this little break from the academics has breathed new life into their little bodies and souls. Little Spice, first of all, I have a kindergartner too, okay? So I have that context, what's going to come in the fall. Little Spice is brilliant. She is a sponge. Like, she's a sham wow sponge, okay? Do you remember those infomercials?
I do. That was such a good pull. I know exactly what you're saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She
ShamWow
absorbs
guy.
things.
What happened to him?
I don't know, but he was so good. She absorbs information like that sham wow absorbed water, baby. And if she's behind in anything, it's going to be a blip. Talk about small self. It's a blip in the full experience of her academic career, which for her is going to be lifelong, just like it is for you. And you're filling her cup and her little soul with everything she could possibly need right now, which is like fun time and happy time and family memories and like all these things. Like, you're not doing anything wrong. I think the worst thing you could do is to get 6 notebooks and force her to sit down and like learn to write a number and read a word.
Thank you. I needed that.
Promise.
Like, I needed that.
No workbooks.
No workbooks. We already have workbooks, and like we're working through them occasionally, but I just like not too much.
Unless she's like, I want to do my workbook, which sometimes my oldest wants to do. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, go do your workbook. We'll sit and do it together. But that's a fun choice thing that you're choosing to do. I'm not forcing that, because I'm feeling a lot of this too. We're going to snap our fingers and their little kidness is going to be gone. And then they get the rest of their academic career to worry about learning over the summer and achieving and what sport or musical instrument or drama club they want to do. Like, just let them be. They're babies, so.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what can I do for you? You want a mirror? You want a permission slip?
I'd like a mirror. I'd like a mirror, please. And it's kind of interesting how yours was about achievement for Little Spice, because mine's about achievement for myself. And I think this is I'm nervous about this. This is a little bit of a preview about what we're going to talk about in the next episode. But can you think of a time, I need you to be a mirror for me and let me know, like, can you think of a time where after kind of a milestone achievement that I've slowed down and fully enjoyed that achievement? Or is my pattern more that I do the thing, achieve the thing, and then boom, I'm off to the next thing?
In my experience of you, neither one of those is your pattern.
Okay.
Your pattern is to do the thing, achieve the thing is done, and then you go back and you think about how you could have done the thing better, and you try to institutionalize some new processes to improve the thing.
Okay,
and sometimes you try to go back. Sometimes you go back and try to redo or improve the thing. And remember, I've had to hold your hand and be like, walk away from that. Stop. We're done. Stop. We're done. It's done. You're going to do it. Just stop. Put down the pen. It's done. And then you move on to the next thing. Rarely, if ever, have I seen you go, I did the thing. Great.
That's
and
what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. Yeah.
I love that you are very driven toward improvement and growth. I love that resonates with my soul as well. But I see sometimes that you there's a healthy balance, and then sometimes you go a little bit too far where I'm like, okay, but it was actually great. You did do that thing. It's done. Let it go. Let it go.
Thanks, Elsa.
Yeah. Was that actually helpful, or were you just like, well, crap, now I have this other pattern that I have to...
think see, here's what a mirror is. A mirror is a loving reflection back of something you're genuinely curious about and might need some guidance on. The feedback about looking back and wanting to be better, there's also an element of that of second guessing myself. I want it to be better because I want it to be perfect, and let me just second guess everything I just spent years working on, blah, blah, blah. There's an element of that. I've been thinking about this for a couple days to ask you this question because it's been on my heart. And I didn't see you saying that. And as soon as you said it, it rang so true. And now, because I want to be more perfect, I can change that.
Oh my God. So like in giving you this mirror, I just perpetuated this pattern.
No,
by
you
giving
didn't.
You
I was
some
making a
things.
joke.
Okay.
But
I
I recognize this in myself as something that I'm not totally in love with. It's kind of freeloading on the couch. Maybe I could kick it to the curb.
There are so many good things that come from it, but I worry about you sometimes. You know, I've said that to you where I'm like, hey, you girlfriend, you all right? Because like it was great, and you need to just it doesn't need to be improved upon.
Yeah.
At least not right now. Bask in the fact that it's done and you did it, and yay. And then like next time, let's look at what
I know. I feel that. All right. Well, I can make some very intentional, thoughtful, mindful tweaks based on that, which we can talk about in the next episode to a certain extent. I'm really excited. We're almost to the final episode of season 2. How is that possible?
I know. Well, because we expedited. It's like it flew by this time because we're
Really
like
did.
doing them every week. So it just feels like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And now we're done.
Yeah.
So we will be back for season 3. Friends, messy besties, there will be a season 3. We're constantly we're constantly improving. We're going to finish season 2 and then we're going to go back and say, what could we do better? What could we do differently? And then we're going to come back swinging for season 3 with
Love it.
Bigger, better, more, new. We're not doing them 2 times a week though, or 3 times a week.
Oh gosh, no.
I'm sorry.
It cannot become any more frequent. We love you, messy besties, but please don't increase the frequency.
Yeah, but we are coming back for season 3. So we've got one more episode in season 2, and then we'll take a little breath, as we've just talked about, is an important thing. We're going to go look at the Grand Canyon and experience some awe and wonder.
Yes.
And then we'll come back for season 3.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love you, honey.
Yeah,
love you, messy besties.
Love you too. See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
The Normal Mess podcast is created, edited, and produced by us.
To keep up with The Normal Mess, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
To help us grow the Normal Mess community, leave us a rating and a review. If you'd like a piece of this normal mess, just reach out.
Our email is thenormalmess@gmail.com, and you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at The Normal Mess.
Okay, we're ready.
So ready.
Okay, take a drink.
Yeah. That's a very cute little teacup. I don't think I've seen that one before. It looks like a coffee cup.
This is very vintage. Yeah.
Oh, do your best. That's all you can do. Is the inside polka dotted? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
It's
cute.
cute.
It's definitely at least 10 years old. Anthropology purchase.
Are you drinking tea or coffee right now? Or neither?
Jasmine tea.
That
And
feels like
you're on a poppy, I see.
I'm on a poppy. But a jasmine tea feels like a superior beverage.
Oh, it's so
That feels like
sophisticated
a
for the
tea that
afternoon.
someone who's very smart
I'll take it.
and well balanced would consume. This is
In
just
the
me with
in the
my-
afternoon.
This is my afternoon jasmine tea.
Thank you. I'll take it.
You're welcome.
In a do your best mug.
Polka dotted. Yeah. Okay. It's cute.